Factor. As always, I'm your host, Jeremy Robinson, and today we have someone special. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up? I am Zenobia Williams, Officer Williams, and I am a police officer here in Savannah, Georgia. Actually, I'm a school resource officer for the Savannah Chatham Campus Police, and I work part-time for Savannah Police Department.
Oh man!
Yes.
So my first question is, how are you doing? Mentally, physically, emotionally.
Oh gosh, that is a good question. I'm doing good physically. Thankful for that. Mentally, I'm good. This is just like beginning of the school year. It's a busy time here in Savannah.
Yeah.
Kids are turned up. So I'm always on go. I'm an investigator here too. So, cases are building up. So, and emotionally, but I'm good. Mentally, I'm good. I'm in a good space. I try to always make sure that like I separate work and personal. You got to.
Some people don't know nothing about that. I had a conversation Friday at work about that. I'm like, they're like, how you do all this stuff? And I'm like, brothers, this ain't my life, man. This
right.
is life.
It's not. It's not. And I think sometimes people feel like as a police officer, like I know they say you're a police officer like every day, all day, 24/7, but no, I'm Z outside of this uniform.
So with that, what led to you wanting to be a police officer? Because we grew up and like I never forget. I wanted to be a firefighter growing up. I'm like firefighter football player, and of course I played football, but fireman that never came on the horizon. So how did you get to be a police officer?
So I never thought that I would ever be a police officer. That was not on my list of things I wanted to be when I grew up. Honestly, I thought I was gonna be like this big time entertainment attorney married to like an NFL player.
Oh, all right then.
That was my like goal, but some kind of way, like after I got out of college, I came back home because I had a son. I had my son, when I was in high school, so I was a teen mom. Came back home and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And I started working at a fast food joint. I was like, I can't do this. This is not me. So one day I just went down to the local police department, was like, hey, I just want to work. What you got? I started out doing dispatch part-time, ended up being a full-time dispatcher. I did that for 6 years. We got a new chief. He actually came from Atlanta. He came from Atlanta and he was like, you ever thought about being a cop? I was like, no. Like, you want to be one? I was like, I don't know. I'm ready to get up from this desk. So sure. Went to the police academy, rest is history.
That's all right then. That's all right. When it's your path, it's your path. And
it is like I think policing is really something that if you're called to do it, you'll know. That's really true.
Got you, man. So in that, I would say, how do you balance, being a mother now? I seen you now that I follow you on IG. I was like, oh, she's a great mom. Look at it. All right, cool. How do you balance work and being a mom and the other parts of life? Or is it a balance? Because it's not a balance.
It's a struggle. It's crazy. It gets mad crazy. And at times when people are like you really doing it, I'm thinking like it's chaotic. I'm all over the place. Like I have 3 kids. They my son be 15 in October. I got an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old.
All right.
So it's like I got my son and he's like, I think sometimes he's embarrassed that I'm a police officer. Now that he's older. And then like my girls, to them it's cool.
Right.
So but I make it work some kind of way. I got a good support system too. Like my family is a huge support system. So I think that's the only way really that I'm able to do this. Gotcha. Honestly.
I like that, Dan. I like that. And in time he will be at a point of like, hey, mom really did some good stuff. Man.
Yeah.
That will come. Definitely.
Yeah.
That teenager thing. I know I was once that boy, like, hey, my mother, and it's like at the time you get there, you like, dang, I really was fortunate to have a mom that was doing something like that, So in that though, do have this question. I definitely wanted to ask this question. Like with the stigma of so many police officers and different things happening when it comes to police brutality, what's your stance on that? Like, how do you feel about those things when they do happen?
Well, anyone that knows me know, like, I'm definitely for my people. Like, and I think that's one of the biggest things when I do put this uniform on is, sticking true to who I am and my values.
Right.
I'm Black first.
Mm-hmm.
I was born Black. I'm always be Black. Uh-huh. So when I see that happening, I'm raising a Black son, so it's like, it does hit home. It makes me angry, but then I just keep telling myself, like, all right, Z, you doing this for a reason. Like, you got to be that one to change the perspective, to break that barrier. And if any time that I feel like I'm the type of officer, if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It's wrong. And I'm going to stand on that. And I'm going to stand on what I believe. And I think also, I like to make sure that I keep our people educated. So like when I'm out here talking to these kids or dealing with people in the community, I love to tell them, like, know your rights. Read up on the law. Like the same law book that I read and I have to learn, y'all can get the same thing. Know it. Know that way you won't have these officers that try to violate your rights come in and do that. Because if you don't know, then they can just take advantage. Gotcha. But I definitely think that it's horrible. At the end of the day, it's horrible, and it makes my job tough.
It does. I know.
It makes my job tough.
I know it does. And with my platform, I'm so happy to have you a part of it because, I was looking and I'm about to near the end of this season. And I was like, before the end of the season, I got to get some officers on here, especially Black women, because of the fact y'all always have a different perspective. Onto it. Like, I always get a brother on here, my frat brothers that are officers, but I was just like, no, first I want a woman. And when I saw your page, I was like, you know what? I need to reach out, man, and how you hit me back. I was like, cool, man, it's good to get to know you and just even up on you. It's so much stuff that you can find out about a person, but at the end of the day, it's like, dang, she an officer? Like, what? Things, and, even with so much stuff happening in the world, I respect to see someone like yourself, and the way that you take your job,
Yeah.
I also just found out now that you're a resource officer too. That's cool, man. Every resource officer, it was all right with me.
I am. I'm a resource officer. I work in a high school now, so and it's fun. It's fun with these high schools. Like sometimes, like they knuckleheads sometimes now. But it's so fun because they're at that place in life where, like, they pretty much have their minds made up of what path they want to go on.
Right.
But if you can try to influence them to do the right things, make the right decisions, I think that it's a job well done. Yes, and it's funny though, working in a high school, because they call me auntie. And it's crazy, because it's like, well, when I see older women, I'm like, auntie, and I'm like, these kids calling me auntie, what that mean? Am I old?
Oh.
Like, am I old?
I got called uncle a couple weeks ago, and I was like, bro, I ain't even that old, bro.
Right.
Like, I got a niece, bro, but like, I ain't that old, man. Like,
I'm like,
I ain't even out of my 20s yet, man. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I'm like, why I look like that? I even went on my college campus a few weeks ago. My fiance, we walked on, and they stopped us, and I'm like, bro, this never happened. I'm like, I'm really old. I was like, wow, okay, cool, So I would say, with that, I would say, what is your it factor? Why you do what you do?
Oh, my it factor. So I think my it factor is that I'm very relatable.
Okay.
I think kids realize, like, and even just people that I deal with, I'm not that old. I'm 32. Go ahead and put that out.
Old is
32.
Feel old. Feel old.
But like, I'm very modern. I'm with the times, and I'm steady, like, evolving. And I come to work, my hair is always done, my lashes is done, my nails is done, like, but I'm just so relatable. I pretty much like the same music that they like. And maybe some of the lingo we might be a little bit off with. Right. Some stuff they say, I'm just like, what?
Now. I'm like, what does that mean? Yeah.
But I'm just so true to me. Like, what you see is what you get. Like, my personality, like who I am, it comes through when I'm in uniform. I know a lot of times you have to kind of switch that on and switch it off. Right. And I know how to stay professional, but stay true to myself.
Of course.
So I think that's why I have that it factor when it comes to me. And I tell the kids, I said, I'm lit in real life. I'm lit in real life.
I can believe that. So, and I would say, have there been any obstacles you haven't had since being a police officer or coming into the profession?
Yeah, being Black and being a Black female police officer, that's an obstacle in its own. Policing is pretty much like a male-dominated field.
Of course.
And a lot of times too, some people sometimes don't take you serious because you're a female. Mm-hmm. Or they may think, even some colleagues may think like, oh, you can't handle a situation because you are a female. Mm-hmm. But I think that as a female, we actually handle incidents and situations a lot better than males, because we definitely think through things. Mm-hmm. We don't necessarily act off emotions, and we have time to process. And I think that when we do police, it comes from a different place. And but being a Black police officer mm-hmm. is tough, because it's like, how do you get your people to realize like, hey, I'm doing this for y'all. Yeah. I might have on the uniform and the badge, and although the media, the world sees us in a different light, mm-hmm. I'm doing this for y'all. Yes. Then at the same time, you have colleagues who may look at you different, because you can go to the hood and you can relate, you can talk. Cause I talk, I don't mind. I'm the officer. My windows roll down. I'm probably playing some rap music. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? Mm-hmm. Stopping and talking. And then you probably have those that look at you with a side eye like, well, she know dope dealers, or she know gang bangers, she know this. Well, at the end of the day, I'm not here to judge nobody. Mm-hmm.
That's what you do.
I'm just enforcing the law, but I'm gonna get out there and do my community police. I'm gonna talk to my people all day long, every day. Right. So so just trying to find that balance. It's like, it's a struggle sometimes, because you have these different directions pulling you different ways, mm-hmm. and you're just trying to just stay on the narrow. You're just trying to stay, I'm just who I am, and trying to stick to that. But so that's probably the biggest obstacle, I would say.
Okay, I can understand that. Also what they're not noticing is that's how you build community. By the person you are. And I'm not switching up like, I'm an officer, like, what y'all doing? I can't just lock all y'all up. I can't just come at all y'all. That's not how that works. Right. And I think it takes time. That's how you do promote change too. Because they look at a person like you and say, hey, you know what, man? Like, she really cool, bro. I ain't even really got to be like, they ain't the police. You know how people say. Right. So in that, I would say, what is something, that's an ultimate life goal to you? You can be outside of work. Like, what is one of your ultimate life goals?
Outside of work?
Yeah, outside of work.
Outside of work. I just really want to be able to just provide a life for my kids, mm-hmm. where they're like always just their generational wealth, mm-hmm. that financial freedom. I want them to be able to enjoy the world and not have to work so hard. You know what I'm saying? Just work all their life and work so hard. I want to go ahead and set that bar high for them. Outside of work, I just want to, like, eventually, I do want to retire from policing, travel the world, enjoy my boo when I get a boo, and all that good stuff. Just enjoy life while I can. Gotcha. And I want to go as far in policing as I can. Hopefully one day maybe I can become a chief of police, a sheriff. I think that would be pretty dope.
It would be. Definitely.
And just really show these men, how women really run things around here,
I like that. I like that. And I feel like you're on the right path now. Mm-hmm. Just even having this conversation with you, I can see that you got your mind in the right place when that is coming. Mm-hmm. So some good things coming your way. Definitely.
That's what we're going to put that out there, put that in the atmosphere. I'm receiving all of that.
Yeah, so before we do close, I like asking this question every now and then. What is something you would like to see change in the world? Like especially in our Black community.
Oh, I would like for us to just love each other more and like really uplift each other more. I feel like we tear each other down so much, mm-hmm. whether it's like just hating on the next, or whether like we killing each other. Like, I feel like if we just really like came together, we would be so unstoppable as a people. And we really do got to love on each other and support each other more. And I definitely want to see that see that more.
Okay. All right, okay. So, and I would say outside of policing, if you weren't doing policing that right now, what is your dream occupation, man? Like, what's something that like, oh, I love to do this, or maybe it may be in policing.
If I wasn't policing, I think I would I want to be like a lawyer. Like I could just see myself being this big time bomb lawyer, you know what I'm saying? Like really, and I would want to be more like a civil rights lawyer. Like I definitely, to me, Black people are the greatest. I love Black people. I love being Black. I love everything about us. I love it. And like you see my Instagram, like I'm always talking about my melanin. Like I love it. And I definitely want to be a civil rights lawyer. I can just see myself in DC, you know, marching or standing up for stuff and just really trying to get people together to change things that I don't like. Because I'm definitely about voicing my opinion.
Got you.
Sometimes it may come off a little wrong, but I definitely voice my opinion, and I do it at work. So I definitely believe in, you know, pushing the envelope a little bit. So
ain't nothing wrong with that. We are our own advocate, man. You gotta put your opinion.
Yeah.
I respect social media for that point. Sometimes some people's opinions are like, bro, come on now.
Right.
But like most of the times it's like, especially when I say something, somebody will like always reach back out like, bro, you was right. Now I was like, I didn't even do this for you to tell me this was right.
Right. Man. You already knew.
I just, you know, that's how I feel. You know, so before we do close, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. So how long have you been doing this? I was like, when you hit me up, I was like, is this a joke or a spam or?
Oh man, darn it! Thank you though for saying that you thought.
I was like, you know, is this for real or whatever? Then I'm like, who is this, and how did he find me of all people? So how long have you been doing this?
Okay, so I have been doing this for 3 years now. I feel like it's needed to be done in the community because so many times you see so many podcasts now. Everybody got a podcast, and like at the end of the day, nobody's doing what I'm doing. Like they're not capturing everybody. Like I go get big time people, I go get your common people, but all y'all work different occupations. And then I feel like so many kids, so many young people, even older people see this and say, "Dang, I wish I had that," or "I'm glad we got that now." A lot of people don't do that. Won't pull on a police officer, a football player, an engineer, a doctor. Like you won't never see them in the same space. So just do that and been doing it so well. It keeps me going, man. It's one of my passions. And whenever you do have a passion, you know, every time I try to put it down in these past 3 years, it'll always be like, hey, I want to come on the show, or I like that, you know, so it just keeps me, you know. And with that first question, I do a vetting process. I'm writing a book about it now. I feel like I'm the type of person that I'll walk up to somebody, especially if they're Black, we'll have a conversation like, and any race, to be honest, like I will have a conversation like that. And I always had that since I was a little boy. So in that now, I feel like talking to people is like just a good thing. That's what we're here for. Communicate, you know, network, and also get to know each other. So in that place, I feel like so many people miss out on that by just saying, I'm gonna stick with this group, I'm gonna know these people, and that's it. But when I send stuff out, there's so many people that ask that, like, hey, bro, I ain't even know. I'm like, yeah, just go look at we got the receipts. Go look at the receipts. And then you're like, okay, I want to be a part of it. You know, so that's usually how it goes. But to hear that, thank you for that feedback. Because I definitely be wondering. I'm like, I be sending all this stuff and I be wondering sometimes what people don't do that. But from now, I've built such a repertoire to where people do know, like, all right, after a while, I'm going to get up with Jeremy. You know, so definitely.
I think it's dope. And I think It Factor is the perfect name for it, really.
Thank you.
I think it's really dope. I like it. I'm honored that you even reached out. I really am. Like, I feel like part of the elite now.
You are. Now you're part of the time up here. You ever need anything, you know, I would love to do an in-person episode with you. And also, anytime something, you know, just a phone call, email away.
I got you. I think an in-person would definitely be fun. Definitely be fun. I feel like we can talk about those uncomfortable and hard topics. Definitely, I think that'll be good to hit on the next time we meet.
Right, I'm definitely with that. But if you need something, you know, I gotta get in touch with me. Let me know. Also, this episode will be coming out in season 4. I'm working on that now, so I'll definitely let you know and send you some information. But in the meantime, in between time, you need anything, just email.
I appreciate it, Jeremy. Thank you. You have a great rest of your Sunday.
You too.
All right, go get some brunch or some mimosas or something.
I'm gonna find something to do. Yeah.